So Six Flags just announced that Kingda Ka is going to be removed, not reimagined, but removed altogether to make way for a brand new record-breaking launch coaster coming to Great Adventure in 2026. This is Theme Park Brandon, and alongside me is my good buddy
Matt Carls, and told you so. All those people that said that someone didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I've been saying about the rumors of Kingda Ka closing for a while now, for a few weeks, and get your last rides in when you can. But in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts as well as to get Matt's thoughts on what manufacturer could Six Flags be working with for this project, how large will it be, as well as what type of records could they break, and most importantly, at the end of the video, give you guys my predictions as of right now, where I stand with this. Again, we just found out about this a few hours ago, so a lot could change, of course, but for right now, I'm excited because I love Kingda Ka, Green Lantern, whatever, but I really like this move. I think it'll be really smart for a Great Adventure to maybe add, like we talked about, a hotel or something alongside of things as well with this project. That would be really good. Be able to have an on-site hotel where you can leave and come to the park right there. And with this new record-breaking launch coaster, I am thrilled. So let's talk about the manufacturers first. The main manufacturers that I think that could be a part of this would be Vekoma. And Vekoma is known for some great launch coasters, and they know how to make a solid launch coaster too. And now that Six Flags and Cedar Fair Legacy is both working with Vekoma, I think they have a legit shot at this. And especially if Magic Mountain's rumored coaster is going to be a Vekoma as well, then maybe they bundled the rides together some way, somehow for this.
I mean, Vekoma's been putting in rides, in a lot of different places in the United States now. What, like a bunch in Florida?
Yeah, they have, for sure.
So there's definitely U.S. operations.
Vekoma in Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood,
Yep.
like even at the family ride, but they know exactly what they're doing. And there's some major Vekoma coasters overseas, like a Business at Energylandia. There's one that's very similar over, I think, in China. I think Vekoma has to be in the running for it. I'm okay with that. The new school, the newer age Vekomas are fantastic anyways. What about Intimate?
But
everyone
really
wants to know.
SNS Vekoma, right?
SNS. I don't think this is SNS. I think there's too many issues with Steel Curtain with this, and even Max Force at Great America.
I just mean the Vekoma today is the SNS Vekoma, not the Vekoma of the Boomerangs.
That makes sense. I get what you're saying, but everyone wants to know, including myself, could this be Intimate? And it's just interesting because now that the company,
why do you always think everything's an Intimate, by the way?
I do not always think everything's an Intimate, by the way. I wish it was. But Intamin and Six Flags are working together with Over Georgia's new Intamin Big Surfer coaster. We already know that Cedar Fair and Intamin don't really have the best relationship right now. But I'm hoping
who's calling the shots nowadays?
Cedar Fair is calling the shots mostly. Yeah. But Salim is still on top. And, I just feel like with both companies merged together, they're going to be looking at what both companies like and don't like and merge them all together.
So you think there's a possibility that Intamin
I think there's a slight possibility.
Okay.
I don't think it's like 100%. It's not going to happen. I would say maybe like a 10% chance, potentially, if it was Intamin. But this next one, Premier Rides. I mean, you look at Alpine Fury, and despite the horrible, horrible capacity on that, Canada's Wonderland's new for 2025 coaster looks insane. Like, it really looks insane.
Are there any Premier rides that have good capacity?
That's a very
I don't think that there are any.
Mummy at Universal Studios, Florida, and Hollywood.
Okay.
But that's really... Thinking right now
that also has like 9,000 trains. So 9,000. Each individual train is high capacity. 100%
sure. Premier Rides can make a legit awesome coaster. Just look at Alpine Fury. Just imagine if that was a larger version of that, maybe a little taller. We'll get to the record broken here in a second, but
I would think you if you're going to put big money into something, you're going to go with a ride manufacturer that has a history of success, not a company. I mean, this is the same company that is dealing with the fallout of going with, the least lowest bidder on Top Thrill 2
for Zamperla.
Right? For Zamperla.
Well, with that
by the way, so do you think Zamperla's in the running for one of the manufacturers?
No. Premier Rides, and what about B&M?
That's exactly where I'm leading.
Exactly.
B&M to me seems like a very likely possibility.
And they've only built a few launch coasters.
Yeah, but they've built some.
And that is true. They said record-breaking launch coaster. For all we know, this could be a record-breaking launched B&M wing coaster.
Yeah.
You know, this could be a record-breaking B&M launched whatever type of coaster.
Stand-up coaster.
Pipeline. It's a surf coaster.
It could be.
It very well could be.
Possible,
so
right?
From what we know now, it could really be anything. So B&M, I think, is definitely in the running as well. Then my final one.
Ooh, probably my favorite manufacturer that could do it.
I know. Mach Rides.
Mach
Rides is just phenomenal. I'm really excited about the future of Mach Rides, especially in America. They could easily do something like this.
Either a spinner or a non-spinner.
Exactly.
I
know I say a Mach Extreme spinner for a lot of my predictions because I feel like the reason why I say that, I think you can agree. You've been on Time Traveler as well. They're just
recently,
such good rides. I know. They're such good rides. So any park that's able to, I've never once said like, you know, Frontier City's going to get a major Mach Extreme spinner. I only say at the parks that I know can
have a
afford
realistic possibility
Correct.
to actually be able to.
But they're such a good
too.
ride. Correct.
Mach,
they're marketable.
Very expensive.
And so I feel like this could be a very good fit for that type of coaster.
Yeah.
The East Coast only extreme spinning coaster, marketing wise, that's not bad. And it can be obviously launched with the Ride to Happiness over at Plopsaland.
You know,
and that's ranked very high in people's rankings.
Yeah, we're thinking of like American, you know, we have to set a record, something really tall. What if it's just the tallest extreme spinner in the United States?
Well, they didn't say. They said tallest coaster or tallest not tallest. They said the record-breaking launch coaster. They didn't say the
launch.
They didn't say North America's. They say here Williamsville record-breaking launch coaster.
Okay.
So again, it's just very interesting as to what's going to how are they going to fill the void of Kingda KA, you know, and then having this, it's just wild to me. But nonetheless, the Mach Extreme Spinner definitely has a fair chance at it. And what type of records could be broken? I mean, we talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much any type of record could be broken. What I would love to see personally with this project would be the world's tallest inversion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be really cool and decently marketable for this project. We already know that Spitfire over at Six Flags Kingda has the tallest inversion when it opens up, like 228 feet, something like that. So it's not really that much higher than what, you know,
well, still curtains the one now, right?
Correct.
And what is that at?
220?
I thought it was
208. 208.
Is it slightly over hyper?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The height of, I think the drop is higher, but the inversion is around 208, 209.
Okay.
But definitely height. It could be the highest, fastest, most inversions. There's so many records.
I mean, it could be a record something that's like a combo one too, like fastest launch.
Exactly.
You know, like it doesn't even have to be that impressive of a ride.
Well, it's funny when when Cedar Fair and Six Flags does it too. When they announce these new rides, they're like 10 records broken, the tallest. You know, the longest queue line for a coaster. You know, some random like. Okay,
have you looked at Steel Curtains?
No,
Steel Curtains, like 12th or 13th record is most records broken in a coaster, right? And you're like, what? That's not really a record. You know?
That's too funny.
Yeah.
But before I get to my predictions, you guys, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like. That's the best way to help support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to check out keepridingcoasters.com for more merch like myself that I'm wearing right now. Again, keepridingcoasters.com. Now, as far as my predictions go, you know, it's funny because I wasn't even thinking about the whole B&M aspect of this. I was thinking about the B&M sit-down launch, like, what's it called? Penguin Trek at SeaWorld.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm thinking, oh, well, it could be anything, really. It could be a pipeline. It could be a wing coaster.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, what I think this could be, I think it comes down to two things. I really think B&M and Mach Rides is leading the pack as far as what I would guess. And I think it's pretty much split down the middle. I think a Mach Rides multi-launch coaster would do well. I think a Mach Rides multi-launch spinning coaster would do even better due to the marketability of it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more money, but just whenever you remove a major coaster like Kingda KA, you have to have a good plan implemented to be able to bring in people from the New York City, Philadelphia, Atlantic City, all these major metros that are within an hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just add a smaller scale coaster, it's just not going to do it. So I do think this is going to be really
Kingda KA
large.
was also like a signature ride there.
Sure.
People went to that park for it. Whatever you replace it with, it needs to be another signature ride. So.
Yeah. I really feel like it's exciting to see what the future holds for it, but I think a Mach Rides Extreme Spinner makes the most sense in the Mach aspect of it. And for B&M, again, there's so many different types of coasters that B&M could do. I mean, I think a launched B&M wing coaster, a record-breaking wing, would not be a bad idea at all, because the GP love it.
Yeah.
You have Medusa, but then again, like, you have Rougarou, Gatekeeper, has never stopped them.
Yeah.
You know, so there's... I just...
Honestly, B&M makes one of everything other than a single rail and a spinner. So it could be literally anything else then, you know?
What about RMC? If they ever come with the T-Rex?
The Dark Horse?
The Dark Horse T-Rex, have it be launched? I highly doubt that.
I highly doubt it, but
unfortunately.
I guess it's in the...
I just don't think Six Flags wants to tackle... Another point is Kingda KA had issues with maintenance, cost a lot of money to make or to maintain. They want to find a replacement that's going to be reliable. That's a sure bet. It's going to be open and not have many issues. That's why I don't think.
So you're not saying it's not the first S&S Axis?
Definitely not the first S&S Axis. It's not going to be RMC T-Rex.
Okay.
I honestly think that's why I think it could very well be a Mach Rides or B&M.
I think it needs to be something reliable,
because those are always usually reliable.
Yep.
Time Traveler reliable, Ride Happiness reliable. The B&M wing coasters are always, relatively reliable.
I mean, why did they pull out Kingda KA? It was expensive and it was unreliable, right? They're not going to put and these are the same people that are dealing with the fallout of Top Thrill 2.
Correct.
They're gonna run to safety. So
they need
that maybe puts Vekoma in the running though.
I mean, it does, and it does. I just curious to see what Vekoma could do, because if you want to buy a Vekoma multi-launch coaster, let's say for $15 million. But for $20 million, you can get a Mach Rides Extreme Spinner that's a lot more marketable. I would go that route just because the uniqueness of it.
I think Mach's for the park even more than that though now.
I know. I'm just using an example of it. It could be 20 to 25 or a few more $1 million. So those are my predictions. I think B&M has a legit shot, whether it's a wing coaster, or even a pipeline, or some other new creation from B&M.
It's not a pipeline, even though I like pipelines. That's not what I would want to replace.
I think something like Reptera, but on steroids, would be really cool for the park in that area. Right next to the new hotel resort on property.
What if they launched it off the top of the of the new hotel that's going to go there?
They just copy Epic and have the hotel overlooking the park. And that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
What are any thoughts on your predictions, or are we kind of aligning on the same? I think we're kind of.
I don't make predictions. I just I riff off your predictions.
That's true.
I predict what you're going to predict.
That's true.
But I don't know. I think a lot of your ideas are very realistic, right? Only thing I can say is I'm hopeful for a hyper Mach Extreme Spinner. That would be.
And we have the surveys for the Mach Rides 400-foot tall shuttle coaster. But Mach Rides tallest coaster built was 220 feet or something like that. I just think it's too much of a risk to go up 180 feet on Mach Rides, make them a little bit more uncomfortable as far as how high they can build. And these spinning trains going that fast, that high.
Yeah, but you know what? I just remembered something. Mach did make the statement at IAAPA and also just in general that they can put their Extreme Spinner on any of their coasters.
They could.
So that means they can go on their hypers.
That's true.
So they should be able to go that tall.
A hyper to a strata, that's 200 feet higher.
But they don't have to go to a strata to be a world
record.
I'm saying
for the survey, I just pulled it for you. If they would go the 400-foot route, I just think that's too much money, too much maintenance cost in that alone. So very, very excited for the future of Great Adventure. Now, if you're interested in learning about the top 10 tallest roller coasters at Great Adventure, including Kingda KA and Green Lantern, unfortunately, the video at the bottom of your screen is just for you. With that being said, what's your thoughts regarding the replacement for Kingda KA? Share with your predictions with me. And as always, this is Theme Park Brandon. Have a blessed day. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.